I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my creative healing course is filled with hours of exclusive content. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to talk about I'm scared my ex will find someone better than me while I'm in no contact. Right?
Oh, what a terrible fear.
This is a big fear, Margaret. Yeah. I think this is one of the underlying fears that we all have going through a breakup is that if I leave this person alone and they start dating again, everybody's going to want them the way that I want them.
I hadn't thought about it quite like that. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, everybody's going to want them.
We just kind of feel like because we value that person so highly that everybody that meets them is going to as well. Well, that's a very real fear. I mean, it's possible. We can't tell people that can't or doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to tell you that because it can happen, right? It is a very real fear. And we all have to kind of, live with that and kind of work through it. And today I got a little email that I thought would be helpful because I do think it's such a powerful thing.
Oh, yes.
That it just impacts everybody.
What an awful feeling. I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Mm-hmm. And when that person has left you, it's kind of like, well, I'm not good enough because if I was, they wouldn't have left me.
Yep.
So it's not easy to work through that. So I think we could talk about that. But I just wanted to share a quick email that said, "Hi, Coach Craig and Margaret. My name is Ryan and I'm 27 years old and my girlfriend is 26. I stumbled across your channel about a month and a half ago and have been utterly blown away by your content."
Good.
Thank you so much. My girlfriend left me after a 3-year relationship.
Wow.
We had been living together for about a year and a half. I'm really having a hard time because she's the best girl I've ever known. I really don't think I'll ever meet someone that I'll have that kind of connection with again. Margaret, that's a big thing that a lot of people say.
Yes, it is. And it's likely untrue. There isn't just one person out there for us. There are probably a few.
Sure.
But I feel terrible that he feels that way.
Yes. And I felt that way before, where you're just like this connection, how, it's just so like incredibly shocking that the other person can walk away. Even if there were points where you were ready to walk away and you were frustrated,
Absolutely.
You were like, well, I love them enough to work through it. Why aren't they?
Why aren't they? Because I'm not good enough.
Yeah. But I think that feeling of I'm so scared I'm never going to find somebody like this again is so powerful.
I felt like I had found the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what makes the breakup so hard for so many of us. Let me go on. Okay. I thought she would never leave. Well, there we have it. I just wish she had given me another chance to show her how I've changed. And I've been trying. After watching your videos, I realized my childhood wasn't as good as I thought it had been. A lot of people come to us and say
Very
that.
Very common. I'll start with people. How was growing up for you? Oh, it was good. Can you tell me more? And it turns out to be a disaster.
Yep. I hear it too. My father was very avoidant and rarely made time for anyone in the family. Oh. My mom and him would argue often. Little did I realize I had taken on a lot of his negative traits. Boy, there's
the deal.
Yep, that happens a lot. We unconsciously
it's not conscious,
take on those patterns and behaviors, and sometimes we're like, wait, did my father just come in the room and it just came out of your mouth, right?
And that's wonderful if the awareness comes to you. It sounds like this guy's just figuring it out.
Yep.
All right.
Now that I've had a lot of time on my hands, I've been thinking about all the complaints my ex had. I used to spend my time watching TV or playing video games. Well, it's interesting because he was kind of
Yeah, he was being avoidant just like his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was disconnected blunt, rude, and condescending at times. I kind of only thought about my own perspective and really didn't care about how I affected my girlfriend's mood.
Oh,
Just like his dad,
just like
probably,
his
right?
dad. But he's owning it. God love him.
Yep. In many ways, it was just like my parents' relationship, so he's starting to see it.
We say it often that unless we're aware, we tend to repeat what we grew up with, whether or not it's what we want.
Yep.
Okay? So poor Ryan, he just got bowled over with all this all at once.
Yep. Yep. I'm just realizing how bad I was in the relationship. I honestly didn't know where to start, so I got your workbooks.
Good.
I was reluctant, but they are helping me a lot. Thank you. I wish I had found you
I
sooner.
wish you had too.
I really feel like I'm learning and changing to be better. My biggest fear is that it will be too late. That while I'm in no contact, she will find someone better. I was hoping you and Coach Margaret could talk about it. I'll be signing up for a coaching soon. Okay, so yes, Margaret, the big fear, it's too late and that they're going to find somebody better in
I
no
already
contact.
blew it, and I see he gave us very concrete reasons of what would be better.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to find somebody who doesn't spend all their time watching TV, or playing video games, and who's going to pay more attention to her.
Yes, and so I would say to you that you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
I always enter a situation like this, if me personally, with I'm going to do everything in my power to put myself in the best position to turn this around.
Right.
And that means obsessing on the personal growth. Because if you do, either she's going to come back and you're going to show her these changes, or she doesn't come back and you're still going to truly change who you are and have much better relationships.
Yes, then any relationship you have in the future will likely be better. But what a terrible way to feel all at once.
Powerless,
Yes,
right?
yeah, totally powerless.
And I think that's where he gets his power back here, is that focusing on the changing and what he can control.
Right. But also, let me point out, it's 3 years. So also, obviously, something went right if she stayed with you for 3 years.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, that person loves you and cares about you enough to where once they have time to reflect on things and really process things, that they can think, well, I know he wasn't perfect, but I do miss him.
Right.
It just takes time to get there.
And it can take months. And people will say, well, it's already been 3 weeks. No, see, it takes months.
It usually does take months.
Right. Because the person has to adjust to being away from you. First they're relieved, then they start to feel more and more sad. And, after 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, it may hit them. I talked to a gentleman just recently this week who explained to me that he had been in a relationship and he didn't know how attached he was. He broke it off, and then 10 months later, he got hit with a ton of bricks that he missed her terribly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy today who done the breaking up. I talked to 2 guys today. One that had done the breaking up, and then about 9 months later, it hit him that what was going on.
Exactly.
And I talked to another guy that he's having a hard time moving on from a breakup 2 years ago.
Yep.
So, it takes time.
It takes time. And if you haven't heard from your partner for 6 months, give it a year.
It doesn't mean we want you to put your life on hold.
Oh, no, not at all.
It doesn't mean that because it's been that amount of time that they can't come back again. I have people that come back after years. Now, we're not saying put your life on hold and do anything like that. We want you to grow. We want you to heal.
Yep.
We want you to change and see how the future goes. But, it's always scary that your partner's going to find somebody better right away.
Absolutely. But I still say she was with you for 3 years, so there must have been something that worked.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so keep that in mind and stay focused on the personal growth.
Right.
Okay? Because either she's going to come back or you're going to find somebody that's a better fit for you, and you don't want to mess up imagine having that amazing connection with somebody new, and then you make the same mistakes again.
Yeah,
Then
because you don't want to do that.
You're really going to beat yourself up.
right.
Because I mean, think about how many times, Margaret, somebody says, "I didn't think my ex was coming back. I moved on. I stopped doing the work. My ex came back. I blew it."
Yep, and I was the same guy she had left, or the same woman he had left. Yeah.
That's the
very
one.
sad for us.
That's the one thing that really gets me. That I'm like, oh, that's why I try and tell you guys, act like you're gonna get one more chance. If you keep that attitude, you're gonna be ready.
And I have to hand it to Ryan. He figured this out all at once, it sounds like to me, and was just bowled over. But he's describing it to us, and he's owning it.
Well, he said he had a lot of time on his hands, so he's probably
Well, he used it.
watching our videos all day long.
So if you're ready to go to therapy, Ryan, I think you'll do just fine because you owned it and you were able to put words to it. Okay?
And there's one other good
The
thing.
workbooks are a great place to start too.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has. He already started there, so that's great. There's one other thing that I want to say. Your ex not reaching out to you for several months or months on end is not necessarily a bad thing. You might need that amount of time to heal and grow before you actually have a real chance of repairing with that person. And that's what people don't think about. They think, I just want them back right now.
Right now.
But the reality is that personal growth takes time and effort.
Yes.
And so if your ex came back in 3 weeks or a month or even several months, you might just go right back to that old behavior.
Yes, the old behavior. And I mean, it's a very hard way to learn, but it is often helpful in the long run. Yeah.
So use that to keep perspective of, okay, this is another day that I can improve myself. This is another day that I can figure out how I'm going to improve my relationships, how I'm going to improve, what are my weaknesses, how can I improve it. Look at your other relationships before this current ex. Is there a pattern?
Is there a pattern? Yes. And don't beat yourself up day after day. It's not helpful. And you need the energy to put into your healing and your growing.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And like I say, you're owning it, which is half the battle.
You're on the right path.
Absolutely.
Have the mindset of, I'm going to have one opportunity. Am I going to be ready? And then you're going to put yourself in a much better position to show her that you are her best option, that there's not going to be somebody that's going to be as invested, as great of a partner, being able to bring that real joy into your life that a relationship can really do. Right?
Right.
So stay motivated and commit yourself to personal growth. You can't go wrong. Sometimes you need the X as motivation. Some of you don't. But whatever your motivation it is, just use it.
Use it. Absolutely. Okay. And call us when you don't know what else to do.
That's what we're here for as well. Absolutely. Right. If you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.